Okay, everybody, are you ready for the next topic? So we're going to be talking about unlocking DeFi for the world's most underserved crypto asset. I wonder what the asset is. So right now we have Jordan Jefferson, DogeOS, and it's going to be moderated by Jared Wynn. Welcome, guys. Take the
Thank
stage.
you.
Right. I just first want to start out. Jordan, thank you for joining me, and thank you for this conversation.
Thank you.
Let's just first kind of address the most bold statement in what is it we're discussing here. We're calling the most underserved asset Doge, in this case, at an Ethereum conference. Where does this bold statement come from? And let's dive into that first.
Yeah, I mean, I think we call Doge the most underserved asset because it has tens of millions of holders. It has, $20 billion of value of liquidity. And there is not really an ecosystem. There is literally zero DeFi. There is very little on-chain activity for Dogecoin. 99% of it or 95% of it sits on centralized exchanges. But it's a huge opportunity. It is the original meme coin, the original meme chain, tens of millions of holders, the most well-known IP in crypto, other than maybe like something like Bitcoin or Ethereum. So yeah, I think it's underserved because the holders are hungry. There's liquidity sitting there. There's opportunity. There's culture. There's community. But until now, there hasn't been like a huge influx of builders or on-chain development.
Well, what's interesting about what you just shared, so I try to think of things in community in terms of parallels, right? The Solana community is going to be operating or acting in a different way than, say, Ethereum. What parallels would you see between the Ethereum community and the Doge community? Because Doge was always for degens, right? So, like, Doge, the congregation around such a topic where everybody was just so, there was so much relativity to one another. How do you see that overlapping with what Ethereum does? Because essentially, what is the Ethereum virtual machine, EVM, you're kind of doing the DVM, right? And
For
you
sure.
can you can take that one, but like, where do you see the parallels between Doge and Ethereum in that way?
Yeah, I mean, Doge launched in 2013, a little before Ethereum. Lots of my, Ethereum OG friends are also Doge fans. Like, if you were around in that era of crypto, you were probably a Doge fan because at the time it was just this hilarious thing that took off, and kind of everybody loved it, and some people made a lot of money, some people watched it. Either way, it was fun. So I would say culturally, like, I think there's a ton of overlap. Yes, we're building EVM on Doge. I think, there's, if you look and say, okay, Dogecoin's underserved, like is the EVM world, is the Ethereum world underserved? No, I mean, there's thousands of incredible projects, like tens of or hundreds of thousands of incredible builders. Like, that's the community, we feel most embraces Doge. That's, the technology that we love. So yeah, we're bringing that to Doge. I really feel like it is, it's, we roll up to Doge itself. We're trying to build Doge native infrastructure, but I feel like it's kind of part of the, culturally part of the broader Ethereum world. Obviously, technically, it is, pure EVM. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of overlap. That's where all of our builders have come from, is the Ethereum world. I don't think anyone's like maxis about one chain. When you can just come build something fun on Doge, why not, right?
Well, there's almost a level of arrogance to what could be considered a maxi. If you think that yours is the best way and that there isn't anything else that could be better, like, you're not open to feedback. That, like, it's almost like that there needs to be an ego death that kind of takes place, right? What we're building, what Doge is building, you're basically looking right now at is like, you have a community that's passionate, that's always been for the degens. Now, when we think about, I remember specifically, Doge is the most satirical brand of everything. It was always built to just make it ridiculous, right? I remember we were talking and you had a conversation with Billy where the main thing of Doge was like, oh, it's not about the tech, it's about the community and everything else. But even Billy said, he was like, this is to the point of ridiculousness, is so satirical that he loved it, right? So I guess what my question is to that is like, when you're thinking about Doge and as you develop it, this is arguably one of the largest communities around any cryptocurrency and the most loyal communities. You've had Elon Musk that otherwise endorsed it and made it huge in that respect. What is the next frontier, right? Like, how is right now with where you're at in building this, what do you think is it going to take and what is the opportunity of this, right? We're talking about all the centralized exchanges. There's not exactly a DeFi on Doge, anything else. I would love to learn a little bit more about what is the opportunity that's at scale here. What's the math of it?
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's supposed to be it's a DeFi talk. So I'll talk about the DeFi opportunity, which I think is really big. Yeah, as I said, all the Doge is on centralized exchanges. Guess what? Since forever, Doge has been one of the top traded assets on every major exchange in every country in the world. What does that mean? It means tens of billions of dollars of fees have been captured, by trading, by exchanges from trading. Look at any other ecosystem. Guess what? A lot of those fees are captured on chain. Normal people can provide liquidity and earn. Builders can build a DEX, a primitive, something on top of that, whatever, and actually capture some of that value. And so, in the Dogecoin world, we call it the people's currency. The people are not capturing any of the value of this massive economy that's happening, and a handful of exchanges are making billions and billions and billions of dollars. And so, I mean, you say, what's the math? I mean, right now, I think exchanges are doing maybe $300-400 million a year in fees just on Dogecoin trading. That's sometimes like $1 billion or $2 billion a year, depending on how the market goes and how hyped Dogecoin is. If we even take 5-10% of that on chain, and even if on chain you're only capturing taking 10 bips or something like an exchange would take at the cheapest scenario, that's still tens of millions of dollars that have flowed to builders on chain. That's like a pretty good start. I think the more exciting thing here is now what we're doing. I mean, we're building EVM on Doge. We're building DogeOS, EK Rollup. The thing that we offer is we are bringing a ton of Doge liquidity on chain day one, like a significant amount. Okay, we're starting with a bit of CDFI products. You could say something like Athena that offer huge Doge basis yield for the first time. That provides like exogenous yield that's actually being extracted from exchanges and brings it on chain. Now you have a ton of Doge sitting on chain, and you have yield coming from outside, and you can now build real flywheels on top of that. This is not printing some token to give yield. This is like real Doge yield coming off exchange on chain. It's just a huge liquidity unlock. I think it's like a huge liquidity unlock with very little competition, given that we're starting from zero. So there's room for builders to build all sorts of things and actually generate revenue. And it's also a huge unlock of the tens of millions of Dogecoin holders that are not introduced to DeFi. They do not use other blockchains, a lot of them. They've never tried DeFi. We have a wallet app with 500,000 of them. Now we can put real consumer DeFi in front of them and show them the benefits of crypto that they might not be unlocking.
That was so extremely well said. The way that you put it, when we think of this as a mathematical problem, it's like, okay, blockchain was always intended to be an elimination of middleman entities. It was a substitution of trust, right? This seems like a no-brainer in that respect. So I want to roll back a little bit. I want to think a little bit more about you. There's ideas, but then there's the people that deliver on it. You've done a lot in the Doge ecosystem and so forth. When did you first hear about Doge, and what was it that otherwise you were just so, what magnetized you to Doge in that respect? What was it about the Doge ecosystem that you were like, this is my place, these are my people?
Yeah, I mean, I was around when Doge launched. I mean, I was an early Bitcoin believer. And I thought Doge was funny, but I didn't take it seriously, and I saw no reason to like buy one or participate. And I had lots of friends who did, and they mined it early, and they're like, dude, it's just fun, just do it for fun. And I honestly didn't get it. Like, I was just like, I used Litecoin. I was like, I don't know, it's kind of the same. Like, I don't really need this. I did not get it for many years, and I watched like everyone else kind of get it, and just like, hey, it was just about the fun. Finally, I guess I got the stick out of my ass and started to like appreciate the meme and the humor and realize, okay, it doesn't have to be like so serious. But it wasn't until like 4-ish years ago when we first built my Doge wallet, and I actually, as a developer, started to interact with the users.
What's my Doge wallet?
I mean, it's the #1 mobile app for Dogecoin, self-custody Dogecoin wallet. Now kind of becoming a super app, neobank on Doge, everything app for Doge. But yeah, basically, I don't know, as a software engineer, small startups, you're always like doing the customer support, you're talking to the users, it's kind of like you're doing everything. And talking to the Dogecoin users and seeing the excitement and the support and like, hey, it's okay if my money's stuck or gets lost, like I just want to help you like we never lost anyone's money, but like we had, bugs where people were like, it's okay if the money's all gone. Like we just want to help build things for Doge. That was crazy. Like I'd never experienced that. Normally like users would just get really pissed off and everyone hates doing customer support. And so it was kind of like that made me realize, okay, there's like a special spirit here that I really loved. Then we realized, okay, there is an underserved community here. They're so hungry for something. I think, the holy grail in crypto right now is how to get that wave of retail adoption coming back in, right? And it's obviously through, I think we can all agree, like through like real apps, that a real use case. I think the like kind of the gambling to bring people on chain was the last big wave. I think that's kind of the most exciting thing because we have all these Dogecoin holders. They have their foot in the door. They already hold a cryptocurrency. They're just not necessarily doing a bunch of on-chain stuff. They don't know exactly what DeFi is. To me, it's like the hard part has been done. Like they have the crypto, they know about it, they're in. The easy part now is just like, okay, now let's unleash this stuff on them. And I think it's a cool opportunity. I mean, I'm very bullish on just, people should be able to download an app and use it, and it's just an app, whether it's crypto or not. I feel like we're halfway there with the Doge community. They have the app, they have the currency. All we have to do is kind of like make it really easy and safe that, oh, wow, how am I earning all this interest? My bank gives me 0. This is amazing. Like, it's not groundbreaking. It's what a lot of people are trying to do right now. I just think the opportunity with the Doge community being so big, and there just being so much liquidity, and Doge obviously not going anywhere at this point. I think it's really cool. It's exciting. It's fun. It's the people's currency. Let's just bring value back to the people, provide financial opportunity. I think it's more important now than ever the way the world's going. So
that was a mic drop statement. Like everything you said right there. It's like the one thing I've always felt is that cryptocurrency is such a volatile industry when it comes to emotion, right? It's arguable that every decision we make in life is as a result of wanting to pursue emotion. In cryptocurrency, people are attracted to cryptocurrency largely to make wealth, right? We have a division between greed and passion. Passion is one thing that ultimately can't be substituted for any level of currency in that respect, right? So when we think of the Doge community, there's really no better foundational, like you never feel more at home than when you find people that have similar, you share those experiences, the humor, the love, everything that comes with it, right? So when you're doing what you're doing right now with Doge, why do you think Doge, like, well, this is a two-part question. Number one, why do you think Doge ultimately, like in an environment where Doge was always supposed to be nonsensical, satirical, never supposed to be anything technologically, why do you think it requires an advancement of technology at this point? And why do you feel that Doge is the best environment to bring us to the next echelon of cryptocurrency adoption?
I just think there's a real purity in the Doge community. I think it comes from the beginning when it was made as a joke. No one knew you could make a meme coin and it would go to billions of dollars or even hundreds of millions or maybe even tens of millions back then. So there's a real purity and like the kind of OG crypto spirit, which is why when I started to get into Dogecoin, I kind of fell in love because it felt like the early Bitcoin days post, or before the shift to like digital gold and all that. So I think, I think there's just like a purity of opportunity here. It's not like a community and culture of like max extraction. Hopefully it doesn't get to that, but there's just a great chance to, build stuff the right way, capture the community's already there, capture their hearts, provide a little bit of value to them. They'll be the biggest evangelists. And yeah, I don't know. It'll be a lot of fun. I mean, Doge is fun. It is a joke. Like we're building serious stuff, but we don't take it too seriously. That's the whole point. I just think the funniest thing of all, the biggest joke is, Dogecoin taking over the world, Dogecoin being worth tens of billions of dollars, building real financial systems on top of Dogecoin. I think that's funny. I think it's ridiculous. So yeah,
I like how you say it's not that serious, but meanwhile you had, what, a 6 million round led by Polychain, right? So there's obviously some degree of confidence in the capacity of what DogeOS can achieve in that respect, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're building serious tech. We're building it the right way. Nobody wants to assume like protocol risk or infrastructure risk or anything in DeFi these days. We're not reinventing the wheel there. We're building on existing tech, OpenVM, etc. Polychain helped us kind of architect it, make sure we're doing it the right way. There has to be a serious aspect. We're talking about tens of billions of dollars on the line, but like, we're just trying to have fun. I think it's fun if the whole community makes money. I think it's fun if, Doge takes over the world. I think it's fun if builders can come in, find a new opportunity, reach a new community. We can give them distribution. We have 500,000 wallet users. We have, my teammates have millions of followers on X. Elon, retweets them on a regular basis. Like, come build something awesome on Doge. People will see it. If it's awesome, you'll be successful. It's kind of that simple. So it's serious. It's not serious. Whatever. It's Dogecoin. It's fun. Let's have fun.
So Thank you for sharing all of that, Jordan. In that respect, the last thing I just wanted to kind of state is do you have anything to share with the audience now at this stage? How can somebody become more involved in the DogeOS movement?
X.com/DogeOS, follow us. We really got to wrap up. He's not stopping, but I'm seeing the motions here. Thank you guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank
Let's
you so
go.
much, Jordan. That was amazing.